Let's take a look at how to configure Sage Intacct for access from Velixo. Before Sage Intacct can be accessed through web services, there are a small handful of configuration steps that the system administrator must perform. To start with, web services must be enabled. Once we have logged into Intacct with our admin account, we can navigate to Company, Admin, and Subscriptions. We need to scroll down to the Web Services section and ensure that these are enabled. Next, we need to confirm that the Velixo IP addresses are allowed to access Sage Intacct. We'll navigate to Company, then to Setup, and finally to Company. We'll edit our settings. Go to the Security tab and scroll down to Enforce IP Address Filters. If this setting is configured for None, we don't have to make any other changes to this setting. Velixo will be able to access Sage Intacct. If, however, this is configured for any other setting, we'll need to manage the filters to ensure that the Velixo IP addresses are specified here. Please refer to the Velixo Online Help Center for the specific addresses that are needed. Our third step is to authorize Velixo to actually access Sage Intacct. We'll scroll down to Web Services Authorizations. Here we'll click the Add button and list the Velixo sender ID and description as shown. Once we click Save, the necessary Velixo information is added, and we can now save our settings. Velixo strongly recommends that users access their Sage Intacct data with the same credentials they use to log into Sage Intacct in the browser. The biggest advantage of this approach is that the data each user sees in their reports will match what they see within Sage Intacct. This avoids the possibility of a user being unintentionally exposed to more sensitive data than they would normally see under their own account. If, for risk mitigation reasons, it is absolutely necessary to create a separate web services user specifically for Velixo integration, there are a few additional steps for the administrator. The exact steps will vary depending on whether the organization's security is role-based or user-based. Both security types require that we create a role that will be assigned to our new web services user. So we'll start by going to Company, Admin, Roles. We'll click the Add button and then provide the name and description of the new role we are creating. Once we click Save, if we are working with role-based security, we next need to configure the specific permissions this new role will have. At a minimum, for financial reporting, we need to set permissions for accessing company and general ledger data. For company data, we've marked the recommended set of permissions. Please refer to the Velixo Online Help Center for more detailed information about the permissions needed for refreshing Sage Intacct reports. We've also configured the recommended permission set for general ledger data. Again, the Velixo Help Center has up-to-date information on the necessary geo permissions as well as the additional permissions required for creating and running job summary reports and for using the Velixo drill down feature. Our next step is to create the web services user account that will be used in our Velixo reports. We'll go to Company, Admin, Web Services Users. Next, we'll press the Add button. We'll need to configure the values for user ID, email address, and we need to set the user type to Business. Finally, under Role, we need to select the new role we just created. If our organization uses role-based security, we are done defining the web services user. If, however, our organization's security is configured at the user level, here is where we configure permissions for this user. Just like we looked at for the role-based scenario, we need to configure the company and general ledger permissions this new user will have. Again, please refer to the Velixo Online Help Center for details. That completes the steps for configuring our Sage Intacct instance for access from Velixo. We hope you found this tutorial helpful and invite you to view our other videos on using Velixo with Sage Intacct. Thank you for watching.